Hello, and welcome to day 3 of making horrible videos and putting them on the internet. The past 2 days, I've just rambled about nothing, mostly about how terrifying it is to film yourself and then post it on the internet for people to watch and judge. Like that's the primary purpose, is you put it there so other people, whether you know them or not, watch it, perceive you, and then form an opinion about you as a person and you as like a content human, and you just sit and wait for them to give you feedback, and that's horrible. But we're doing it anyways because the good things of sharing your experience and storytelling are on the other side of the fear of judgment. It's not, and sometimes when I say like, oh, I'm scared of judgment, people are like, oh, no one's gonna judge you, it's fine. And I don't think that's the appropriate response. I think the appropriate response is, yes, they will. And how does that affect your life? Like, what in your life is gonna change knowing that a person thinks that what you're doing is cringe? Other than make you feel like a bag of shit and plummet your self-esteem. If you don't let it plummet, say don't let it. Be like, oh, just don't care. People think, just don't care. Just don't care about it. Okay, how do you just tell someone not to care? It's like someone being like, oh, I'm hungry. Be like, just don't be hungry. Just don't do it. Okay, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. So I think it's less about not caring and more of like not allowing that fear of judgment and criticism controlling your behavior. Does that make sense? So it's so easy to say, oh, just don't care, or no one's judging you, or oh, you shouldn't care what people think of you. And it's harder, I think, to be like, yeah, but like logically, realistically, there's people that are gonna watch you. They're gonna be like, oh my god, what is she doing? This is super cringy. I feel embarrassed for her. I feel this ick, the sense of ick. You know, I knew this person in a different setting and now they think they're really cool and trying to go on the internet. And that's icky and cringy, and people just have a discomfort surrounding that for probably various reasons. And that's gonna happen. And then so I, from that knowledge, can either say, ugh, you're right, I am cringy and yucky and bleh. And then I hide. That's one action. Or I could say, it does feel super cringy and I'm gonna do it anyways. Embrace the cringe, let's say, you know? And that help, at least for me personally, that helps. Like I envision like, okay, even if there's that person, I try to envision like a person, maybe from high school, maybe my family, being like, oh my god, that's so cringy, it's so embarrassing. I'm being like, okay, what if that person thinks that? How does that affect me? And not just like emotionally. I might be like, oh, okay, yeah, it feels ick, but okay, then what? Like, how does that actually impact my day-to-day life? How does that impact my worth? How does that impact, you know, the things that I love, the things that I do? Like that, I think it's like, yes, that can be true and that person can feel that ick, whether they share it with you or not, right? I think that's a whole other thing as well. If someone can feel the ick and just, you know, keep it to themselves, which I think is more likely than people feeling the ick and expressing it. If they're a stranger, they might express it. If they know you, they'll probably not express it to you, but they'll express it to other people, you know, being like, oh my god, did you see that? Ugh, so cringe. And it's hard because then you're like, oh, then they're gonna tell more people that I'm cringy and yuck, and then they're gonna talk about it and laugh at how cringy and yuck I am. Okay, great, those people think I'm cringy and yuck. I can maybe acknowledge that hurt, that I have this desire to be liked or to be accepted or to be seen in a way that I want to be seen. You know, the parts of me that I value, maybe they don't value or they don't see that, and that is conflicting and uncomfortable, and yeah, it causes like emotional pain. I feel it in my chest. I love how I'm just like doing therapy out loud, but it's okay. It's helping me, so I'm gonna keep doing it. They have that experience. It could be multiple people looking at me, laughing, haha, separately. And I can acknowledge, yeah, that's not how I want to be seen or perceived. That maybe their truth of who I am is not the same as my truth of who I am, or how I perceive myself, or how I perhaps would prefer to be perceived by people. And do I let that stop me? Because if there are people that are making a decision on who I am for me, why am I begging for them to understand me? If have they already made up, if they've already made up their minds, ugh, that's cringe, ugh, instead of giving the benefit of the doubt of like, oh, that's weird and uncomfortable, but like, yay, good for them. I have a hard time with that. The being misunderstood piece and the people pleasing piece. And so even just literally doing this, terrifying. Yeah, it's like fighting against that instinct I have to like hide. And I even do it so subconsciously. Like it's not like, oh, I'm so scared to make the video, I'm not gonna do it. I just like don't think about it. I just don't post on social media. I just find myself like subconsciously not engaging on like social media or the internet world, not putting myself on camera. It's not till later I notice, I'm like, oh, I haven't filmed anything, I haven't posted anything. And then I can kind of backtrack and be like, oh, I think it's because this fear of being, first of all, seen, but maybe seen in a way that I don't want to be seen, or the fear of being misunderstood, or maybe even greater than that is the fear of people seeing me for who I am and still not liking that. Is that better or worse than being misunderstood? I don't know. I can't determine that at the moment, but at least if I hide, no one can perceive you. If you don't put yourself out there, no one can have those little snickering behind the scenes comments. I mean, that's not true. They could. It would just be about different things. It could be about your job. It could be about your life, your choices, your partner, your whatever. So maybe even hiding from spaces like this isn't even protecting me. It's not stopping that behavior from other people or controlling that behavior from other people. It's maybe just, what is it? It's stopping me from trying, because maybe it feels like people trying and doing something badly is like so embarrassing. You know, if you see people like, I don't know, roller skating, they keep falling and you're like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Why do you suck? I don't know. I don't think that. I've never seen someone rollerblade. I've never watched someone. I'm just trying to think, like, it can be really uncomfortable to watch someone trying, especially when they're not good. But then as soon as they're good, you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. How'd you do that? It's like, well, all those years of trying and being shitty and, you know, being laughed at and like not accepted kind of gave me the practice to, you know, do it good. And you weren't fucking there during all the trying years. So what makes you think I'm gonna share the, you know, celebratory years with you? But that's also super salty. I heard someone, I think it was literally, was it Whoopi? I think it was literally Whoopi Goldberg. And on some red carpet, and they asked her, like, I don't know if they asked her, but her response was something about, like, people, you know, might not have seen her or, like, you know, hyped her up in the past, but, you know, they're here now. They understand you now. And instead of being mad about the past, like, let's, you know, support each other, like, and be happy moving forward. And I thought that was a really liberated approach to that. And that was not word for word what she said. It was completely not what she said. But it was the vibe of, instead of holding that resentment for the people who didn't get you, who didn't really support you. And then what I want to do is like the, oh, screw you, you weren't here when it was hard, so you don't get to be here when it's fun. Instead, being like, yeah, like, I forgive you for not being there when it was hard. I forgive you for not being there when, you know, I was trying. And like, welcome. You're here now. Thanks for joining the party. Thanks for catching up. And off we go. I don't think I'm emotionally ready for that. I'm a little too salty. For that. But that seems like a place of enlightenment where you don't need to weigh things down or push people away or like punish people in that regard. This was a lot of rambling. Great. Love it. But I do feel, how do I feel? I don't know. It is hard. It's a hard exercise, kind of being like, okay, imagining someone, you know, doing or saying like the worst things you can imagine. Like, what are the biggest fears for me being online? People thinking I look ridiculous, looking like an idiot, making a fool out of myself. Okay, so what if someone thinks that? Sucks, and it's uncomfortable, and I hate it. I'd rather people just perceive or just think like nothing of me, neutrality. But am I gonna let that fear or like, I don't know, reality stop me? I think that's the biggest question. Just like I said, like, I can feel what I feel, but is it gonna impact my behaviors? Is it gonna stop me from doing the things I'm really passionate about, which is speaking and storytelling and sharing and building community with people, with various intersectionalities, and trying to hopefully help people feel less alone in their feelings, in their circumstances, in their lives. Yeah, would I let the judgment or critique of some stop me from potentially helping people? Or even if no one's helped, even if there's no like praise on the other side, I don't want that to be necessarily a motivator. Even if there's no praise waiting for me on the other side, can I just know that this is what I enjoy doing? This, oh my God, this hairpiece. I'm even looking at myself. That this is what I enjoy. These are the things I'm passionate about. Whether people ever like it or not, am I able to continue a behavior for myself? Can I post cringy videos on the internet every day for myself? And if someone stumbles along and is like, wow, that actually really helped me, like, maybe that's a really cool benefit or like a cool little plus. It's additional, versus me being able to directly face a fear, deep fear that I have, not just of like being seen on the internet specifically, but being perceived, being judged by others, being critiqued, not being good enough. That's probably the center of it, is I am afraid of confirming the belief that I am not good enough the way I am. I'm not trying hard enough, or I'm doing something wrong. I am just at my core not good enough. And I run away from any opportunity from someone else to like confirm that. Like, yep, cringy video on the internet, confirmed, you suck. You know? Where it's like, I don't want to give people any ammunition. That is interesting. It's myself. It's not even about other people. I just don't want people to like, yeah, repeat the beliefs I already feel about myself. Because then maybe that makes them true, or just, yeah, really solidifies that even more. Even though some people say really nice things, and that's hard to solidify because maybe it doesn't, you know, match with my like core belief about myself. How can I do this without focusing on external validation or critique? How can I just focus on doing something just for the sake of doing it? Filming a video just to throw into the abyss of the internet. That sounds kind of liberating, actually. Poof, internet. Someone across the world might find you. They might not. Cool. Does that change the validity of your experience? Logically, I know it doesn't. Logically, if this is what I want to do with my life, or this is something I enjoy doing, I should be able to do it and feel good about it, whether I have 0 views, whether I have 1 million views. It shouldn't rely on external validation in order for me to believe what I am or what I am not, or what I can and cannot do. And even though I'm having all these thoughts right now, and I'm like, yeah, inner validation, 20 minutes, I'm gonna like look on the internet and have to go through this whole thing again. Or I just find I have ADHD, and so my brain is so slippery. So sometimes it feels like maybe the next day or in a week from now, I'll forget that I had this kind of inner moment. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, like I feel so ick going on the internet. Like I don't know how to keep this in my head. The psychology people and therapists say it's like repetition, rewiring your neural pathways. So maybe it's repetition, doing the scary things, talking about these things over and over and over until it just really feels more solid, like it's not slipping away every single time. And I have to like go through this whole cycle of, okay, imagining the person, judging me, thinking about it. Maybe I have to do that a few more times. I might have to. Like right now it feels good. But yeah, as I said, maybe in a week, 2 weeks, I'm going to go spend time with my family. And I'm going to have to be like, do it all over again. And maybe that's okay. I'm going to stop. I feel like I really went on the journey and I feel like I'm coming back now. That actually felt good though. That actually felt really good to talk through my feelings and talk through like the fears of doing this exact thing. The fear of someone watching this. Oh my God. But doing it anyways for myself. And if it helps another person, bonus. But it's proving to myself that even though I have that fear, that maybe I can prove to myself through my own actions instead of waiting until I believe in myself to do the thing. Can I do the thing until I believe in myself? Was that really wise? I feel like people have said that though. I think people have said that, like, putting the cart before the horse. Like, you can't wait until you're motivated to do the thing or until things feel right to do the thing. You have to do the thing until things feel right. So I kind of just said that. And I hate that. I hate it. But yeah, let's do the thing. And not all the things. I've had therapists tell me like, yeah, do the hard things, like all the time. Like push through that anxiety, push through the discomfort. I'm like, if I push through discomfort all the time, I think I would die. So maybe try one thing at a time. So right now for me, posting cringy videos on the internet. And I don't want to say the word cringy because it's pretty self-deprecating. It's kind of like a shield. Like, ha, you can't call me cringy because I called myself cringy first. Ha, I made on the joke. But maybe it's me posting unedited videos on the internet that make me feel some discomfort but align with my morals and values, which this does. This aligns with my morals and values. I need to remember that. Thank you if you've watched 19 minutes and 28 seconds of my rambling. I will try to remember to be here again tomorrow for day 4 of posting random things on the internet while being super uncomfortable about it. Thank you.